Today, let's dive into the pretty amazing turnaround story of a company called Oxford Biomedica, or OXB. We're talking about a major player in the gene therapy world that went from a really tough spot financially to turning a serious profit all in just 1 year. Okay, so picture this. It's 2024, and this was OXB's reality, an operating loss of over £15 million. Now, in a super competitive field like gene therapy, a number like that, well, it definitely makes you wonder about the future. But then, you fast forward just one single year, and the entire picture has flipped. They didn't just break even. No, they turned that loss into a solid £8.1 million profit. I mean, that is a massive swing of over £23 million in just 12 months. So, you have to ask, right? How on earth did they pull that off? This wasn't just luck. This was a masterclass in strategy, and we're going to break down exactly how they did it. All right, so this incredible comeback wasn't some single magic bullet solution. It was actually a series of really smart, deliberate moves that all came together to form their core strategy. Their game plan really focused on a few key areas. First up, a huge expansion into the United States. Second, they secured a ton of new financing to really fuel their growth. And third, they dramatically grew their backlog of client orders, which basically locks in future revenue. Nailing these points is what brought them back to profitability. And that move into the US, that was absolutely critical. They bought a new FDA-approved facility over in North Carolina, putting themselves smack in the middle of a region where over 40% of all gene therapy development is happening. See, this wasn't just about getting more space, it was about being right on the doorstep of their most important customers. But to really get why all this matters, we need to zoom in on what OXB actually does. Their whole business model is really the secret sauce here. They're what's called a viral vector CDMO. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful, so let's just break that down. Think of them as a super specialized factory for hire. So, what are they building? They build things called viral vectors. These are basically the biological delivery trucks that carry a gene therapy to exactly the right cells in your body. So get this, they don't invent the cure, they build the vehicle that delivers it. And this perfectly captures their strategy. Right now, we are in a full-blown gold rush for gene therapy, with tons of companies racing to find the next blockbuster cure. So instead of betting on just one of those companies to strike gold, OXB sells the essential picks and shovels, the manufacturing know-how, to everybody. It's a way smarter, way more reliable way to profit from this whole boom. So it's a smart business model for sure, but how's it actually playing out in the real world? Well, the data shows just how well they're competing in this booming field. The demand for what they do is just exploding. This chart here shows the market for making these viral vectors is expected to shoot up from about $4 billion today to $10 billion by 2031. That's more than double in just 6 years. OXB is riding an enormous wave. Now, while they aren't the single biggest player yet, they've carved out a really significant spot as the fourth largest pure-play manufacturer, holding about 6% of the market. And in an industry with lots of players, that makes them a major force, with tons of room to grab a bigger slice of that $10 billion pie. And here is the real kicker, highlighted right in this quote. OXB's revenue grew by about 30%. The overall market, it only grew by 12%. So what does that mean? It means they are growing more than twice as fast as the industry around them. They're not just riding the wave, they are actively taking business from their competitors. You know, it's easy to get lost in all these numbers and charts, but it's so important to remember who's behind them. We're talking about nearly 1,000 scientists, engineers, and technicians doing incredibly complex, high-stakes work. This is not your average factory floor. This is the cutting edge of modern medicine. So after this amazing turnaround, what's next? What does the future look like? Well, their current position gives us a pretty clear idea. All the vital signs are looking exceptionally strong. Their revenue is climbing way faster than their costs, which is pretty much the definition of a healthy, scalable business. They've got a massive backlog of over £200 million in signed orders, which gives them a ton of confidence about future income. They're sitting on nearly £97 million in cash, which gives them stability. And maybe most importantly, they're not just relying on one big client.
Their risk is spread out across 48 different programs. They have built a seriously powerful foundation to keep on growing.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As medicine gets more and more personalized and complex, who are the biggest winners going to be? Is it the brilliant companies that discover the cures? Or is it the indispensable companies, like Oxford Biomedica, who have the incredibly rare expertise to actually manufacture them? The answer to that could shape the future of this entire industry.